Shalom. Hey, Rainicorns. It's Ellie, the Empress here. And so, yeah, I hit my mark of 2.5 years of abstinence. And listen, my journey in particular is so, unique. When we talk about, people on the internet who do this stuff for content's sake, and not because they're genuinely sharing their experience for the sake of sharing and inspiring other people. It's like, you'll hear things. It's mostly dudes who speak from their perspective when it's like, oh, you feel more powerful. And like, I went no fat for this much time and I just felt so powerful, invincible. I had a glow about myself. That's true. Deeper than that, though, the amount of, whether you want to call it attack, spiritual warfare, makes absolutely no sense. So because I wasn't, I'll say, because I've already had certain experiences, I've already had a baby. So it's not like I'm just completely 100% pure out here. At the same time, I've been married and I've been in a high profile relationship. So just those things alone, people have a stigma and they think that, okay, it doesn't matter what she's trying to do now. I'm still going to push myself on this person. Women and men. I've had dudes and females come at me. So that's why it's like, oh, all these dudes out here. No, it's the females too. Because the thing is, I can be more masculine in the way. I got my podcast microphone. I can be more masculine in the way that I present myself and the way that I do things. So it gives people a certain type of idea of how I am as an individual. And so I do have a lot of bisexual or lesbian girls who like me. It's just I don't like them. And I'm not the type I'm not changing my mind when it comes to that. So girls will get mad at me and stop being my friend all of a sudden. And I'm like, what happened? Spirit will tell me she had a crush on you and she couldn't handle it anymore. I'm like, I thought only dudes did that. Like, it's a whole lot that I go through in particular that other ladies may not go through. So for my younger girls, I will say this. If you are still a virgin, keep it that way. Keep it. Keep it. I say that because when people talk about the incubus and succubus spirits, right? They don't go into depth on how deep those things are scarring. It's not just a thing where, oh, there's a creature looking at me over my bed and wants me to touch myself. Like, no, sometimes the guys, some girls too, that you have that connection with, you share intimacy with in that way without marriage being involved. Because I was married and I was still going through this. They will speak with you spiritually on a continuous basis. I literally just woke up to it. And I'm like, I have not talked to this individual in over a year. Why are they in my consciousness at all for any reason? And it was the thing that was happening. And I'm like, look, get, I'm doing a video, go. And so it's literally one of the things where it's like, keep your energy to yourself. Because obviously the whole thing with STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, and spiritually transmitted demons, it's a scare tactic, but it's not genuine. Because while it's true, that hasn't stopped anybody. When I was doing my bullshit back in 2020, right, I used condoms. Finding out that so many people don't use condoms after the fact, I was like, wow. I wasn't even though I was part of the whole face culture, I wasn't even really part of the culture because I was still conscious of being safe. Where there's people who don't care and they just do whatever with anybody. And I was like, I didn't know it was that real for a lot of people. Because even when it comes to even the whole pregnancy thing, how casually people get abortions. I didn't know it was that real. I'm watching it in real life time where people know they're not supposed to be sleeping with somebody, not use a protection, get pregnant, and get an abortion. Why are you doing that? What is happening? What are you doing? If you know for a fact you don't want to have a baby with this person, you haven't been with them for over a year to test their character, you like, and you're not gonna use condoms at the very least. So it's literally just avoid it all. It's just avoid it all. And so when it comes to your self power that you build up within that time period, people can feel it. People can see it. Because you're transmuting it into things that make you happy. You don't just start glowing out of nowhere just because you're not having sex with somebody. And sometimes sex can give you that glow if it's the right type of energy you're exchanging with the person. I'm just being honest. That's not the case most of the time during a hoe phase. Because like I said, I was married. And toward, like, in the beginning, yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, over time, that relationship started to drain me because it was not, I'll say it like, it was not a God ordained marriage after a while, because it was a lot of things that we were working on that the other person simply refused to work on anymore. We got into our spiritual journeys together. I started speaking more on things like soul searching, and all of a sudden that person was like, oh, that's not real. And it's like, we out here wearing crystals. What do you mean soul searching is not real? Okay. We can sage and smoke weed all day, but soul searching isn't real. Okay. So if your partner is not doing shadow work, if they're not repenting, if they are not going to whatever aspect of therapy or using therapeutic mechanisms, whether it's holistic or with a structure or an institution, if they're not doing anything to help themselves outside of, oh, I'm powerful, I have powers, I'm a king, I should be respected, I am an emperor, I'm a god. If all they're doing is boosting their ego and they're not releasing that trauma that is built up in them, don't have sex with them. Best decision I made was to stop having sex with my spouse, and I saw exactly what they became. Well, I saw exactly who they were and who they were becoming even more. Once I cut the sex off, it was just that much more evident. Now we got court cases going on because of their foul choices as a person. No one wants to go through that. And it's not to say, because it's like, I didn't have a baby daddy, I had a husband. So my experience by itself is just much more different than, I'll be honest, the average, if we're talking about Afro-American ladies. A lot of Afro-American ladies do have baby dads. I never had one. So with that being said, my experience automatically is going to be different from a lot of individuals out there simply because of that contract that I signed and that ceremony that I had. Sex itself is a bond. However, when you do have children out of wedlock and you have bastard children, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, but y'all know about the wars going on and all that other stuff, where we have the battle of Ishmael versus Isaac. Ishmael was a bastard child. Isaac was a child born within wedlock. That's the battle that's happening. Whether anybody's going to verbalize that or not, that's the battle that's happening. Something was not God ordained, not the baby's fault. That's the thing. Because it's always this whole thing of, oh, well, he's not taking care of his kids and she's this type of baby mom. Okay, if people had went to God first before pulling their pants down, will we be having these conversations? Did your ancestors say talk to him? Did your spirit team say she was a good fit to be a mom? Oh, can y'all, are they hearing me? Are they hearing me? Okay then. My personal unique situation was because I was in my relationship for 6 years. So it's like I'm kind of one of them people where it's like that's what I mean. My situation is so unique. I was with this person for 6 years. It wasn't no crazy thing. We on our grind. We doing our thing. We're manifesting actually. And it's like while there were certain issues that were red flags, I saw the situation from a perspective of this person just has to grow up. They're literally in their early 20s. Once we got to our mid 20s, I was like, yeah, nope, 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 it's not gonna work. So most people don't have that though. Now that I'm on the dating scene, quote unquote, and I'm a full-on adult. I'm not a teenager growing up with a person becoming an adult, and I'm seeing the way that other people operate. I'm like, okay, so y'all operate just the way he did. It's just y'all grown. That don't make sense. I don't see why y'all operate that way. That's heavy. So within myself, for 2 years now, 2.5 years now, I have positioned myself to create a certain type of foundation for, of course, it's like finances, but it's also a thing. It's also a thing of setting my reputation in a certain type of way. What do I mean? So even during like my BS period after my first relationship had ended, I was already on my grind business wise, where it's like I'm recording courses, already making content. That was already a thing. Writing ebooks and setting up my own community online. Not on social media, I mean on my own personal website, on my own app. So I was already on that grind before I started dealing with other guys. So then, once it came to this space of like helping the people and roo, rah, rah, we're spiritual. Oh, peace, God is what's good. Then it became a thing of I'm so focused on helping people right now. Fuck the money. Here's this for free. Here's that for free. You do this, you do that. You know, I'm going to do this and I'm going to handle this and I'm going to communicate with these people. We go get that done. I noticed that for myself, I lose myself in my projects and the things I'm working on. And then once all that goes away, I'm left with myself. And then it's like, dang. Even when you remove sex from the picture, right? Because here's the thing, people confuse, you know, having, I mean, intimacy, but having like connections with people, and it doesn't always even have to be sexual. People can develop a codependent relationship with you just because. You don't even have to meet them in person. These parasocial relationships are wild. People develop codependent relationships on individuals to where they have more of a tie to you than somebody you even had sex with. That's the crazy part. So once you remove yourself from people and you focus, of course, on your spiritual life, you'll get with your spirit team and your spirit guides, and you're like, look, okay, Abba, what you need? Allah, what do you need? I want to serve y'all while I heal myself, while I work on myself, while I realize things about myself. Once I got deep into ancestral healing, bro, so much was revealed in my bloodline, from my past, from all of these situations and scenarios that I wouldn't have known about. I'm talking 5 generations back. I'm talking my childhood when I was a minor baby. and stuff was going on. People coming to me with information that I was completely unaware of. And it's like, I'm not saying that being in a relationship would not have brought me those things. What I'm saying is me focusing on myself while not being in a relationship made me be able to receive those things in a way that I couldn't have received them in if I was in a relationship. I know for a fact when I was married, my relationship with my blood family was not good. And that was a lot of spiritual warfare, because even finding out certain things after the fact, the people who were causing discourse between my marriage are now cool with the ex-husband, trying to go against me. It's folks was haters. That sounds so cliche, but according to legal documents and court hearings, folks was literally haters for no reason. There was no logical reason for any of the decisions to have been made. It's all spiritual. So when you look at everything from a spiritual perspective, instead of, well, this person hurt my feelings, why would they do that? There's no logical reason behind it. You will calculate everything in your mind and be like, what did I do? On this day, they were upset, so I asked them what they were upset about, and they got mad at me for asking why they were upset. What did I do? On that other day, I had gave them a snack because they looked upset, and then they threw the snack on the ground. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I did wrong. That's a demon. That's a demon. That's what I'm saying. For the younger girls, if you could keep your stuff to yourself, keep it. And I say if because we do have to, during this 2.5 years of myself, I was sexually assaulted. I was not raped. A lot of people have that misconception. I was not raped. I was groped and touched inappropriately against my will after I clearly said no and did not give any consent. So, with that being said, people can sense it on you when you're not active. People can sense it on you because you're within your power so much. And even stuff like that gets so diluted because people use it so repetitively and they just say things just because. People can sense it on you that you are giving to yourself. People can sense it on you that you are connected and tuned in with your spirit team. People can sense it on you that you are upgrading in whatever aspect of powers that you have, even if you don't know. That's the crazy thing. Even if you don't know, other people know. I got initiated into the fairy kingdom and to Yoruba Orisha connection by essentially my mother-in-law's. That's just how it happened. It's not my fault. That's just the way it happened. The guys I was in relationships with were the ones who initiated me and or introduced me and or practiced these connections in front of me to let me know, yeah, this is what's up. This is what my son's on. So if you know, you know. And I'm like, I didn't know. But I did, though. In one scenario, I did. But the first one, nope, had no idea. But I had to realize that so I could know exactly what my son was going to be dealing with as he grows up. So, when you're talking about things like joining in union with a person, you have to know what that person's family is on. You have to know that. You gotta know. There's so many single moms out here who don't know why their kids act the way they act. It's because their dad's family practices all type of practices. And you don't know because you didn't get to know them before you spread your legs open for them. And shut up what you do. Yeah, keep your legs closed. So why are dudes complaining that women are keeping their legs closed now? I was not part of this movement going on, but it's like called the 4B movement. It started in Korea, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where women are not having casual sex, women are not getting into relationships, they're not having children, and they're not getting married to men. And there seems to be an issue for some reason. When that wasn't my goal to just give up completely. It's just I needed to heal and be in my season of singleness until I was ready to handle that again. Because it's not like, it's like people, I had the mindset, I can't handle getting my heart broken again. And I have to get, okay, well, I just said have. I was going to say had, but it is what it is, shadow work. To get over feeling as if my heart's going to be broken. Because there was a situation with one guy in particular that it's like, I'm at peace with the situation. It is what it is. But he's a super sweet guy. And, you know, he expresses feelings toward me to some sort of extent. He's a really, really nice guy. And it's like, I just wasn't, at that time, it's like, I had just got dumped. And I'm not trying to do that right now. Like, I'm hurting, and I'm just trying to vibe and have a good time. And I'm not trying to spew out my unhealedness onto you. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing that people don't really respect about single girls. They don't know why they're single. They don't know why they're choosing to be alone. It's like, if I didn't want to be alone, do you need something?
I don't want to do another science experiment.
Go ahead. If I didn't want to be alone, all I had to do is put on something cute, go walk outside, and go get somebody. Easy. All I had to do was get on my phone and reply to somebody's DM. Easy. Easy. That's not what I want to do, though. That's not something that I'm interested in. That's not something that's going to fulfill me as a person. What actually did fulfill me as a person was that person entered into my life in a genuine way. We were hanging out. We spent a lot of time together. And not my voice cracking. And they expressed to me a different aspect of masculinity that I never experienced before, because they're more flowy in the way that they are, and that's not something that I'm used to. I'm used to niggas, you know. I'm used to like, you know, and I'm not used to like dudes who just do whatever they want to do all the time. It was different, but it's not always like what you want or what you're used to. It's what you need and what's right for you. So I'm the type of female where I'm not like super girly, but I'm also not super masculine all the time. I get into my masculine, I get into my androgyny, and I get up into my little capsule and my little shell. And that's not something that he would judge me for. So it's like, if that person was just meant to be in my life for me to experience that and to accept that in a man, then cool. If they're meant to be my person, cooler. It's like, but that's the thing about being single. If we had just got booty butt naked up in the bed and just did all the things together and with each other, if we had been doing that from the jump, I wouldn't have been able to experience him. And I'll say in a friendship way. Because if you just straight up go into a romantic relationship with somebody, you don't get to see and view all avenues of them outside of how good they are sexually, then it's just a different type of experience, where it's like, that person makes my heart jump without knowing what they dick is like. That's something. That's something. Because look. Because like, most people don't speak this way when it comes to topics like the look, bruh. Because even when it comes to when dudes experience females that they never experienced before, some people can like grow through sexual experiences. I'm not gonna get into that too much in this video, but people can go through sexual experiences. So it's like, there's there's a situation where this guy he didn't know, like, I'll say it like this. He looked down at himself and then looked at me and was like, how did you make it grow? look, when you got the juice and you tapped in, because I didn't even know how tapped in I was at the time, okay? I was really just like vibing. And I was not trying to experience certain spiritual experiences with that person. It's just when you are a spiritual person, stuff happens and it just happens and you have to notice every single thing. So while I would not like to relate a lot of my spiritual experiences to sex, that's just how it happens sometimes. So he's like, how did you make it grow? Because he would have considered himself to be like small. But it's like, when you got the right person, you know what I'm saying? You just, dudes don't be doing no fap enough to know that they can grow. They be buying pills. Damn macaroot. Fuck. Because it keeps coming up. And they take supplements and they do all these things to try to grow their size. And it's like, just stop nutting for a while. Get the right female. And then you'll be like, oh, dang, that's crazy. I could go on. I'm finna wrap this up. It's really, like, it's way more fun than people make it seem, because, like, I've never been a single adult person. This has been the first time of me actually being single. And when I say single, I don't mean single and mingling. I mean single and cut off from all that. Not experimenting, not experiencing. No, I just been away from it all to myself 100%. Huh.
I don't think some black man sock for the other part of it.
The what?
The black sock. The black man sock. Like the pink one.
Just wait. Just give me a few minutes, okay? Because I don't even know what you're talking about. I'll have to see it. Go. So, being able to fully experience yourself, accomplish things, because, like, you know, everybody knows how to accomplish things, but when you take your energy, you stop masturbating a whole lot, you stop hooking up with people, and you use it to build up a certain type of foundation for yourself, it makes you appear, of course, but it makes you feel different. Because it's like, during this time period, I've been able to create, like, y'all know we got the quadrillion-dollar thing going on. We got the quadrillionaire thing going on. I've been able to create multi-million-dollar business plans. I've been able to write 2 homeschool kits, make 2 homeschool kits. I've been able to publish a book. I wrote several ebooks within this time period. And it's like, look, God had to really sit me down and be like, go use your gift. Leave these niggas alone, go use your gift. I already wanted to leave the niggas alone. But it was the use your gift part that I was resisting, because I did not see writing as my avenue. For whatever reason, I don't know. I'm a great writer. So I didn't see it as my avenue. And now this year, I started a whole blog. I have over 10 essays written. And so people are able to read the blog for free and purchase those essays. And that's an entire new avenue of revenue. Ooh, that's an entire new avenue of revenue, period. Okay. That's so cute. I love nature. Okay, so, like, that's something that you have to be clear on. Okay, what is the goal of being single? Some people are just done. They don't want to deal with the other gender, or they may want to deal with the same gender because they're done with the whole aspect of having a traditional family, and they don't want to have the risk of having kids, because people who get into heterosexual relationships, they risk having kids. It's not always an intentional, we're going to have children. People get into relationships and forget that they can have kids for some reason. So people do the homosexual thing, and they can't have children, literally, unless they plan to. And so it's like, that's why you can't even judge people. Some people just want companionship, and it's not about traditional roles in the family. It's just, nah, I like this person and we vibe, and if we get schmexual, then we're just gonna have a good time, and it is what it is. versus a man and a woman who get sexual, they're going to have children. That's just a byproduct of being sexual. You know, of course, we're not talking about those special cases, but you get what I mean, the context of the situation. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm so like glad that I did take this time to myself, and even with that situation with that one guy, where it's like, if he was part of my healing journey, just for me to be able to experience that, then cool. But it's like, I'm ready for you now. I wasn't ready back then. That's why I didn't say anything. But I'm ready now. And I know it's weird. It's been weird this whole time. I've never experienced this is new. But yeah, because like dudes be trying to talk to me too, and I'll be like, no. Not even just because I got this thing with this other dude. There's been guys I've been trying to give a chance to. Universe blocks it. And I'm like, okay, it's not even me. It's like I'll literally be like, yeah. Universe be like, no. Ain't nothing I can do. They said this is my person, or this is the situation I need to focus on. I'm like, hey, a lot of, if you know about the whole twin flame, soulmate, twin ray, divine counterpart whole ordeal, then you know what I'm talking about. And I can't do nothing about it. I'm in flow with the universe, and if the universe say go this way, even if I try to go the other direction, they won't let me. It just is what it is. But that's for people who comprehend that aspect of things, because we have certain types of missions here on the planet, and then in other planes of existence as well. That's where that goes. But yeah, this has been wild. It's been 2.5 years. Cause when it comes to the whole thing of masturbation too, you just stop. You just stop doing it as often, because there's some people who like they become single and they masturbate all the time, and that's not the point. The point is to use your sacral chakra energy for creativity, for pouring into yourself, and for doing things to be productive for your mission. So that's the most important thing. It is having if you're not creating babies, have your physical and spiritual creations that are of service to society and to the ascension of this plane, and then the other planes that you do inhabit. And that's a whole nother thing if you exist on other planes of dimensions consciously. So yeah, fun stuff. Fun stuff. Yep, let it go. Bye. Shalom. Tawera.